All right, back now to Israel. For the first time, Israel's powerful rabbinical courts will soon employ female legal advisors. Several women are already in the process of being accepted. The significance is, it shows, growing integration of women in the religious court systems, not just for administrative roles, but also for advisement on Jewish law and Torah interpretation. It's in response to a lawsuit filed last year by the ITIM Advocacy Center. And joining me in studio, Elad Caplan, who is a director with ITIM Resources for Jewish Life. Thanks for being with us. Is this a significant step forward? Is this more than symbolic that a woman will serve in this role?
So this is an important step forward. The rabbinical courts have authority in Israel over all areas of personal status. This is mostly marriage and divorce. So when a couple wants to receive certification for their Jewish identity, they'll have to go to the court in order to receive a marriage license. And if they want to get divorced, they'll have to go back to the court and appear again before the courts. There's 100,000 cases each year in the rabbinical courts. And while
the women who are sometimes telling their stories of abuse or whatever the story is, they're only presenting it really to men at this point.
Yeah, and the problem is that while the courts give service to the whole of Israeli society, both religious and non-religious, the people who control the courts mostly come from within the ultra-Orthodox society. And this has caused various problems, many of them to do with gender discrimination. And our court action in ITIM and the Rackman Center aims to create change by appointing for the first time women as legal advisors to the courts and changing the reality in which while 50% of the people appearing before the court are women, in the people who have an influence over the court decisions, there are no women at all.
How do you make sure that their opinions are listened to, that they're taken seriously in this new role? Because this is a groundbreaking step. How do you make sure that their opinions have weight?
So the legal advisors have lots of impact on the court verdicts because they have to advise both on religious law and on Israeli law. They're an important factor in the decision-making process. And I think that once women have a stand within the courts, that could create change also on the outcome.
Have you seen a lot of pushback from ultra-Orthodox leaders from within that community, or are they ever so reluctantly and slowly starting to accept at least this step?
So it's been an uphill battle most of the way, and we filed this case 2 years ago. I mean, we're both men discussing this issue, which is relevant mostly to thousands of women who are today barred from positions within the court. But I think it's important that men, and mostly religious men, stand up and say that we can't accept this discrimination, and it's just unacceptable. And changing the balance of power within the court system is important to both men and women, because when 50% of the voices are not heard, that has a negative impact on the services given to the whole of religious public, and I think that understanding is also seeping into the religious establishment itself.
Tell me quickly, how much interest is there within women scholars who want this role, and when will we see them in place? When will this be in effect?
So in court, the state recognized the problem for the first time, and they said that they will be active. We've asked for affirmative action in appointing women in these roles. There's already dozens of women who have applied for this position, and I think over time we'll see more and more women in leadership roles within the religious establishment, and that's an important thing for the whole of the Jewish people.
All right, Elad Caplan with the ITIM Resources for Jewish Life. Thank you so much for being with us on Daily Dose. Appreciate your time.